En route to station, dispatch broadcast a call for backup from Rosick and Stockbridge. 3 Wallace Corp spinners containing 6 replicants have shown up at Tyrell Dream Labs, demanding that the Troy replicant be immediately given over to them, seeing as it had reverted to Wallace property upon owner's death. Rosick's attempt to inform them that Troy is a suspect in an active murder investigation have fallen on deaf ears. Detective Quaid diverted our spinner to Tyrell Labs. We could see the Wallace spinners as well as several police units, which have already responded to the call for backup, parked in front of the installation. On Quaid's initiative, we opted for a clandestine approach, landing near the back of the lab, and radioed Rosick to have them open an access door near the back of the building. By the time we arrived, Rosick had convinced Wallace personnel to await completion of examination of the Troy model by Lilith Tyrell. All 6 Wallace replicants remained outside the exam room, being watched by LAPD uniformed officers. Quaid and I joined the others inside the examination room, where Troy was strapped to a chair and hooked up to diagnostic equipment. Process itself took most of the morning. Dispatch informed us that Peterson, Miss Mancini's boyfriend, as well as Shipman and Agronsky, Victoria Muniz security detail, had been brought in to the station for questioning. However, immediately after that, Dr. Tyrell was able to break through Troy's conditioning to the point where he was able to provide testimony regarding the night of the murder. According to the replicant, Cornelius Muniz was present in the apartment at the time of the murder. Troy didn't see who exactly shot Miss Muniz, but testified that Cornelius Muniz was there at the time, placing something into a bag and warning Troy that the replicant was at fault and would be eliminated. This testimony was recorded and uploaded to the LAPD mainframe immediately. At this time, I reported the findings to Chief Holden, at which time the Wallace personnel attempted to storm the exam room and seize Troy. Detective Quaid moved swiftly to block the door, partially succeeding. Detective Stockbridge retired the lead replicant through the door, which brought us some time to secure the witness. Detective Rosick unstrapped Troy from the chair and carried the weakened replicant out a secondary exit, headed for Detective Quaid's spinner parked out back. Rest of us stayed behind to cover Rosick's extraction of the witness. 2 more replicants were retired in self-defense. Note the editorial clarification there. Detective Dutch grappled one of the, it should be Detective Quaid, grappled one to the floor with broken fingers. 2 other Wallace replicants still in the hallway are exchanging fire with uniformed officers. Both the LAPD officers and the replicants have called for backup. Through the open doors, we heard a spinner taking off. Hopefully, Detective Rosick has reached the spinner with the witness. So that is that.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. So we've got, my notes too also had, because I was so caught up in the moment, that Sam has joined Odin in escorting Troy to safety.
That's the rookie.
The rookie.
Right. Yes.
Sam the rookie. So, because things have changed so much, and because, well, I lost the initiative order, we should probably draw initiative first, because right now we've got Dutch grapple involved in deadly grapple with a replicant. We've got 2 wounded but still active replicants in the hallway. You've got, at this point, the officers are pretty much subdued in the hallway. So the replicants are, they've already noticed that Rosick has taken Troy out. The one that believe the one that was grappled actually shouted the alarm. This is much more important now. So you've got these 2 replicants coming your way. And let's see. In the meantime, we've got Bennett, and I'm not sure who this Boyd guy is, but Rosick and help me out with his name again. Boy, it's been so long. Stockbridge, Trent Stockbridge. We got Stockbridge. You're there in the lab with Quaid rolling around the floor, and let's see what else is going on. And Lilith Tyrell is really pissed off.
Right.
And has already shot the floor at least once. We should probably, and you've also got backup coming supposedly, from everybody else. We should probably just have some kind of initiative order just in case things continue to be hairy. So I will draw from my handy initiative deck. And we'll see if I continue to draw better than I did in Alien for the good guys. And well, Stockbridge is on 8 because it's me drawing the initiative. Mr. Rozic is on 6.
It's not cool to get revenge for what happens in other games, Ivan.
Detective Bennett is on a 10. Predictably, Quaid is on a 2. It's not even Jose rolling. And let's see what else. We've got the replicants on a 5. And we'll call Lilith kind of inactive right now. I've got replicant backup on a 7. And I've got cop backup on a 4. Should they show? Am I forgetting anyone? I don't think so.
Those aren't your numbers. They're somebody else's.
So let's see. Quaid, you are wrestling with.
All right, and I'm wrestling with a broken finger guy, and there's 2 guys.
There's 2 guys kind of running up. Yeah.
They're already inside with us.
They're running your way. They've just finished engaging with the cops.
Okay. All right. So, I guess I should try to take this guy out to see if we can, so I can help Stockbridge with the other guys. Right?
Yep.
So let's do that.
Okay.
So he's got disadvantage. It's fighting because somebody broke his fingers.
That's correct.
So grappling, the only action I can perform is a grapple attack. Oh, works as normal unarmed attack, but target counts as restrained and cannot defend themselves anyway. So here we go. All right, I got a 12 and a 2, so I'm gonna push that 2. And it's an 8, so that's 3 successes.
Okie dokie. Exactly what are you doing to this poor guy?
Well, I want to take him out, maybe choke him out if I can, or I want to see if I can put him down, or maybe like finish breaking.
Right. And he's entirely defenseless. Does he not get to roll anything back? Is that the?
That's what it says. It says that I got this summary from this really smart guy on the internet.
Right. We know what page that's on. I just want to take double check on one thing.
Yeah,
I think
it's on the summary.
Yep.
Page 7, but it says the opponent. The only action they can perform is attempt to break free.
Right.
It's an action. You only actually can perform until you reach your opponent as a grapple attack. Works as a normal unarmed attack, but target counts as restrained and cannot defend themselves.
I'm just wondering if you can actually really hurt him while you're grappling him. That's what I mean. If it's just a grapple attack. You have an interpretation of it?
Once they're in that condition of grappled, then yes. But
okay. All right, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I think you could probably just at least get this guy unconscious.
All right.
as he's kind of staring at you with that. And you can see the light slowly starting to go out of the eyes, but very defiant the entire time.
All right.
Okay. Who's next? They're next. They come bursting into the room. And yeah, I believe like with guns drawn now, just kind of pointing at Quaid.
Oh, by the way, I'm
Yeah.
not dropping him yet. You know, you got it.
Pointing at Quaid, you can try to cover, the other one's trying to cover Stockbridge and Bennett at the same time. And where do they take the replicant? They're just holding you, pretty much at gun bait, just pointing their guns at you.
It's none of your business.
Nice.
Replicant is in police custody. Now drop your weapons.
This guy entirely ignores you, but starts speaking into his little wrist cookie at that point. Subject is off premises. Off premises, presumed to be being taken out by Spinner. And he's just kind of looking at you guys at this point.
Well, I'm not going to wait any longer.
Right.
So Rossick's out of the room. The replicant backup are okay. So while he's having chit chat with headquarters, I'll step in and I'll use the last physical round. I'll fire the 222. I've used up all the 44 ammunition, so
Okay.
she'll fire.
Well. Well.
Tensions are high.
That's right. Yep.
Okay, we're good. I got a 1 success only.
1 success only. Okay. And you would think that I would have reread the ranged combat rules before we start.
You were too busy posing for your glamour base pictures. I saw them.
Exactly. It's true. It's true. Okay, I'm just looking at any defense he's got at this point. Okay, straight. Okay, exactly. Well. Okay. He kind of dodges mostly out of the way. He sees what's coming. But you clip him a little bit.
Okay.
At that point. In the meantime, Rozik. Really quickly. You are in fact going to the spinner?
Yep.
Taking off?
I think we ended with me in the spinner.
Okay, that's right. All right. So you guys are taking off. Where exactly are you going to head to?
That's what I was trying to remember. We figured out like an off-site, right? Like a black site of some sort, but I don't remember what it was. It wasn't. We weren't taking him back to the station. Where did we decide there was a place we could get away with hiding this guy? Does anybody remember? Or do you want to come up with one now?
I've just got Odin takes Troy to spinner and leaves. That's where my notes kind of end, because I think it seemed like you were kind of like,
where do the four of us think we can hide this person, because we're not taking him back? Well, before we left, I assume we discussed this, didn't we?
Well, if we don't have a safe house, there's a segment not a segment, a sector of the city, which has like it's like a wasteland, right? Where they have the trash and the, I wish I could remember the name.
That's
of the
where I'm
sector.
going.
Uh,
Where there's the least amount of people and least amount of surveillance.
Who's driving?
I'll drive.
Yeah. All right.
With my D6.
Just making sure. So you're taking off. All
Yep.
right.
And any chit chat coming from him, I'm just like,
All right. So you might notice as you're taking off, there's 4 cop spinners, like just kind of zipping right towards the site and landing around Lilith Corporation.
yeah, and I'm gonna make the assumption that those are the good guys. So
Well, unless the cops have really gotten dirty since,
Right.
well, hey. It is what it is. All right. I believe we're back up to wait.
All right, so I draw my pistol and shoot at one of the guys with my corpse shield, from behind my corpse shield.
Which one will you shoot at? The one that Stockbridge has just winged?
Yeah. So let me. Yeah, I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3, so you gotta concentrate your attacks on one mob at a time.
that has been standard D&D practice since
Yes.
1975, probably is when they invented it, right? Like probably a year into the the role playing, they realized that. So,
All right, so that's 3 successes, 8 and an 11.
Okay. 3 successes. Check. Okay.
Let me know if I get to roll on this fancy
Oh yeah, I believe you got a critical injury.
critical injury. It's a D12 on the piercing table. So 6. I'm not even gonna look at the table. 6.
don't look it up. It's instant kill.
Well,
I don't think so. I would have been 12. The 12 is an instant kill, but
But he shot twice, right?
it's at least out as it slams into his head.
nice.
All right. Replicant. Other replicant that's there all of a sudden says, understood, takes his pistol, shoots himself right through the neck, blows the top of his head off. Falls to the ground. Blood spattering like just all over the ceiling.
I look at Stockbridge as I drop my shield and I say, I hope that the quartermaster doesn't give me a hard time about wasting that round.
I'm going to have more of a hard time in the ethics inquiry, as no retirement order, man.
Wait, those are real?
well, persisting arrest, failure to comply with direct orders from a police officer.
Well, you know that, and I know that.
Well,
Well, we better get a good arrest then.
If it doesn't go down well, you guys were not in the room. You came in at the sound of the shot.
And about the time that the uniform officers start pouring in, Lilith Tyrell looks around and says, God damn Wallace enforcement squads.
You're
and
right.
fires a shot into the dead replicant, the one with blew his own head off.
Nice.
And the cops are coming in, checking on their wounded. Looks like one cop is in pretty bad shape, but for the most part, a lot of cops have been disabled. Right.
So I call up Rosa. Hey, you still safe, man?
En route. Nobody's behind me.
Right.
It's funny you should mention that. because as those words are coming out of your mouth, the rear view proximity detectors and mirrors are showing that you've got two vehicles behind you,
Can I
and
ID
they are
them?
coming at you really fast. Like, wow. I'm not sure if my police spinner can even go this fast.
So I know they're not cop cars.
No, they could be an escort.
Okay. Do I have a sense? Do I have any way of discerning them from this distance, or is it just random spinners right now for me?
At this exact moment, random spinners, but it's not going to take long.
Yeah.
But
So
there's no
yeah,
police
Dutch,
lights.
scrap that. I've got company.
Gents, I think our man needs backup.
Well, follow me, and I'll run to Rosek and my spinner. Oh no, we came in the van.
We did come in the van.
I'm going to
Take one of the
liberate
cop
his
ones.
spinner.
Let's take one of the cop ones. We could use the sirens.
Black and whites.
I'll liberate a spinner. You guys take your spinner. So I'm going out the front. They're going out the back.
No, Rosic took
took
our
yours,
spinner. So yeah, so
Your own spinner.
I guess we could hop on two different spinners.
Yeah. Okay.
Razik, you're being hailed as such.
What, Dutch? When is the last time you got this thing serviced?
I just took it out of the lot 3 weeks ago, man.
All right, so I'm getting hailed. Acknowledge. Hit the button.
You're in possession of Wallace Corporation property. We request that you immediately land so we can obtain it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is a Wendy's drive-through, and I turn it off. I don't respond.
Fantastic. So,
And I'm actually, what I'm going to do, Ivan, is as soon as I can, I want to U-turn and head towards my partners. So meet them halfway.
okay. So you're U-turning?
Yep.
What kind of a U-turn? A really hard U-turn?
Yeah, hard U-turn that hopefully will buy me a half a second or so for them to react, because there's no way that those are replicants. All right. So for driving, I don't use just my D6 though. What do I come into that?
Agility.
Agility. Okay, that's what I thought. All right, and a D8.
There's a driving. There's the vehicle. The vehicle itself has a die.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Yes, it's vehicle and you're driving skill.
Okay.
That's
What's the
two
vehicle
things you roll.
on a spinner? What's the die on a spinner?
That's a police spinner. So
You would think that the game master would prepare for this moment.
Yeah,
That's kind of cool that that's your second die is the actual vehicle itself. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be what the government could get from the lowest bidder.
Our spinners are bees.
Okay, so that's a D10.
All right. Go.
All right, so I got a 10 and a 6. I think that's 3, right?
You got a D6 in driving or a B in driving?
I've got a D. Yeah, I've got a D in driving, and then I rolled a B for a B for the spinner.
Yep.
So I get rolled a 6 on the D6 and a 10 on the D10. That's about as best as you can do.
Oh damn! Oh
Yeah.
well, okay. So I mean, like skating, stumbling, zipping around, like you're like managed to like flip around like a pole on one building. Then practically like going through a couple clotheslines almost. Doing a really hard bank. Like pretty impressive. Like. And like Sam on the other side, Troy is just kind of in the comatose, sort of like flat state. Sam is like ripping the ceiling. Oh my god! You sure you know how to do this? Oh god! Turning ghost
I'm
white.
really pleased with myself. You can see it on my face.
And just to be fair, the other vehicles are banking, behind you. And just oh man, that's good. Let's see. Oh, wow, that's cool. So, one vehicle manages to make it the other vehicle actually hits something. Maybe it's something you dislodged. But one of the vehicles actually like hits a piece of debris and it's kind of going off target.
Yeah, it's got to be a street light, right? I got low enough that I knocked like a 4-story street light out.
I don't believe it. Not like exactly sure, but there is a piece of debris spinning and whacks this guy like right in the windshield, so he's like banging off. That's the good news. The bad news is you see another one heading exactly for you on a collision course.
So that's a third spinner?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Okay, so in the meantime,
Stockbridge, tell me you're in the car.
Do you want me to talk to you or drive?
I'm headed towards you. I'll be
All
easy
right.
to spot.
you fellas are homing in on a signal. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
yeah, I guess we're in two spinners because they're two-person cop cars.
Yep.
Page 200. So I don't know if they got any armaments, but we got two.
And you can see like as you're heading towards him, building up your own speed, you can see one fly over you and then another one fly over you. And so we're going to say that the first one you saw zipping over you is the one that's heading on a collision course with Craig right now. The other one, you're not sure, but it's clear that the Wallace Corporation sent more than two spinners at this point.
Okay, so at least two more just passed over us. The guy playing chicken and another one.
Right.
And you can hear through the comms that the Wallace Corporation is still demanding immediate return of their property. They're kind of broadcasting this on repeat.
All right, so I start the radio and I broadcast on repeat. By order of LAPD, all vehicles are ordered to descend immediately for inspection. Failure to comply constitutes a crime, and I cite the statute, the crime statute. You two can play at that game, and now we got license to kill. So shoot away, boys.
So who's actually driving right now? Stockbridge.
I guess Quaid is better at driving, isn't he? I got a D6 for
I got a D6 too.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't really matter.
You might as well drive in case they're shooting.
Okay, in case they're shooting, we'll let Dutch do it. That's fine.
Okay.
I'm yelling at Sam to get his PK out. Let go of the ceiling, grab your gun.
What?
Grab your gun.
And he's trying to strap himself and tie himself down to something. So if he gets whipped out, he's trying to remember his manual training or how okay, you got to clip on here and clip on there. It's like, God, I can't believe I'm gonna do this. And Troy is just blissfully out of it at this moment. All right. So what are you doing?
So we're trying to get a sense of height. Do I have room to go under?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna try to go as close as possible, assuming that my friend is willing to play chicken longer than I am. I'm gonna break at the last second. I'm gonna try to go under.
Okay. Make with a dice one.
Yep. D6 and a D10. D10 for the spinner. D6 for me. Remind me, a success at the low. What is a success? Starts at 4.
6.
Starts at 6.
Yeah.
I need to push it then. So I got 2 4s.
You don't have to push it.
Yeah, I need to push it. Yeah, no bueno. 0 successes.
Okay. Oh, goodness. All right. Well.
So a question
Okay.
for the game runner, just to add
Mhm.
more stress. Some of the special spinners licensed to the Blade Runner department have defensive armaments like chaff, right, for dealing with incoming missiles. Some of them have actual armaments, such as 50 cal machine guns. These are both optional fits that the Blade Runner unit would put or not put on the vehicles.
Ditto with the police cars. So
Yeah.
Of course, you would have those on the Blade Runner spinner. I think Rozik's definitely got them. You guys are in plainclothes spinners though, or is it?
no, we're in the black and whites. So
you're in black and
with
white
the police sirens blazing, right?
I think Rosic would have them. I don't.
Right. I don't
Yeah.
think normal cops have them, but
Right. Okay.
And I reach across. I do the mom shortstop with the arm on Sam, and I grab his chest, and I said, grab the controls and start shooting.
Okay. So you almost get under him.
Yeah.
But he does hit you. And oh man, let's double check the whole rating of this thing. Once again, I would think I would have had.
I'm imagining I'm headed down, realizing I don't have as much room as I thought I did. So my choice is hitting the pavement or skimming the bottom of the spinner, and I'm all right. I guess I'm shaving the spinner.
Correct.
You can tell yourself that's what happened.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm hoping.
You can tell yourself that's what happened. Other people might think, wow, he's not such a good driving compared to that other guy. But
yeah, but that can't be true.
However you want to narrate this in your head, is cool.
Not as much room as I thought.
Police spinner has armor C and hull 4.
Okay, there you go. That's
you might want to take that down. Armor C, hull 4. That's the detective one.
Mm-hmm. Right. You are correct. All right, cool. All right, cool. RC hull 4. Okay, so you've just taken 2. Your vehicle's just taken 2 points of damage.
From my 8? How does that work? Was the hull is 4, you said? So I have 2 left?
Right. And let's see, you can roll 2 base dice according to the armor rating. So you can roll 2 C's.
All right.
And
it's 2 8s.
Success, 2 8s. Each success will decrease this damage by 1.
All right. So I've got 7 and 8. So that's 2 successes, 3 successes, right? Because that doesn't. No, 8 doesn't start till 10.
10 is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe it's your skill, maybe it's luck, but it's more of a glancing blow than you initially thought. There are probably some pieces on the bottom of your vehicle that aren't there anymore. Not as bad as it could have been, but there's a sickening scrape as the 2 vehicles just fly across each other. Alrighty. Let's see who is up. Who's Stafford? It's actually Bennett.
Ooh. Well, I guess we're in pursuit, right? So
you're in hot pursuit, are you?
Yeah, we're trying to, we're blasting the broadcasting the thing to stand down. We just saw the collision, but there's a second spinner between us and Rozek.
There is.
So
what you can see, like how all happening at once, is there's 2 spinners behind Rozek. One is like all of a sudden careening off, having been struck by an object, but still close to Rozek. So I mean, this spinner is like right behind him, as the other one scrapes underneath. And in between you and all that is a 4th spinner, just speeding right towards Rozek, and it looks like they're attempting the same kind of like collision course.
Yeah. So I just try to get as close to that one as possible, and I yell out to Quaid, let's see if you can take him out. He's gonna ram into Rozek.
Okay, give me a driving roll to see if you can just hold the vehicle steady enough for Rozek to get a decent shot.
That's 1 success.
Nice.
We'll do it. If we're out for you're trying to get Quaid to get a good shot, or Rozek?
Quaid, I guess, to get Quaid a good shot, right? Because just Rosic just collided, but there's a second guy trying to ram him. So
Right.
I'm aiming for the second guy between us.
You've got yourself in a really good hole right there. Stockbridge, what are you doing?
Well, what I'm thinking is to come down on top of the spinner closest to Quaid, closest to Rossick, right?
Mhm.
I'm trusting Bennett and Quaid to deal with the one that we're pursuing, right? I'm going to go over it and come down on top of
The one behind me.
the one behind.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right.
What you're driving?
C.
That's what I'm talking about.
He's an excellent driver.
We quoting Rain Man now?
Yeah.
He's an excellent.
Definitely get home for Wapner.
That's right.
I got one success. I'm going to push.
Okay, good.
2 successes.
Beautiful.
Oof. Okay, so you actually be able to push right down on top of it. And you're attempting to force him down, or
Yeah, I figure the introduction of countering momentum will cause both of our spinners to plummet. But as long as we're plummeting with mine on top of his, I'm okay with it.
okay. Cool. So it's a bit more of an impact. Okay. I say roll the vehicle's armor rating then. We'll see how much, because I think both of these vehicles are on the possibility of maybe taking some damage here.
Police spinner has an armor of C.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, I rolled a unicorn
Mhm.
and a 2. Is this something I can push?
I
Driving.
don't
Push for you?
think
It's
I don't
not a
think you
skill
can
roll, right?
push.
So-
Right. I don't think you can push armor, but
All right. That's a
It's an armor roll. I'm quite sorry. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so, but I don't think the unicorn means anything in this case.
stress for the car.
The car
Oh,
is
yeah.
stressed out.
Its noble pursuit of protecting the law.
Yeah, Rosick, you should probably be taking a stress right about now anyway.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
Yeah, so, forgetting to utilize that. Yeah, you're all right. So you're on top of him. You're pushing him down. You get this feeling just based on the sounds you're hearing and the way the floor is pushing up a little bit, that his vehicle integrity might be more intact right now than yours. And if anything's giving way, it's your vehicle, but you are pushing him down. You're
Right.
on top of him.
All right.
So mission accomplished so far.
So far.
Wait,
All right.
Bennett is holding
Lean out the window and shoot.
the wind is tremendous.
So disadvantage or was Bennett?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a little disadvantage. You are in a moving vehicle shooting in the wind.
Okay, so I just rolled a 1 die. An 11. So
Okay.
that's 2 successes.
All right, and he shot a car.
Yep. I'd be doing okay, so I'd be doing 3 damage because this is a critical, right? There's a critical table for cars, but you get to roll the 2 base dice for the armor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's do that.
And if you get 2 successes, the critical is well, I'm doing 3 damage, so
Okie dokie.
you get 3 successes, all damage is negated. If you get 2, then some gets.
Right, I got you. Okay. So you've definitely pierced something. There's smoke coming out of the vehicle at this point. I don't know if we can roll a piercing critical injury just for the hell of it.
Well, there's a critical vehicle table on
yeah,
page
roll it.
There it is. Okay.
81.
Go for it.
Okay, so I roll a 4, which doesn't sound good.
Driver hit.
Nice.
The driver is hit and suffers damage equal to damage and a critical injury. So because I'm rolling a 44, 12.
Oh,
Well,
Okay.
What the hell happened? What
That's
did I do? Here's
Well, the vehicle is like now. I mean, there's smoke coming out of it because you've hit something vital, but you've hit something a little bit more vital, probably. The windshield looks a little more pink than it did before, and the vehicle is like kind of like careening out of control.
Oh my god. Property damage.
awesome. You
Yeah.
shot him through the rear view, through the rear view window, right? And, the back of the head, boom.
and I immediately think to myself, well, I guess Bennett's driving.
That's
Okay. The Rozic.
My tail is gone.
Well, one of them's gone.
Right. If I'm understanding correctly, all I've got left is the one that I just scraped under, right?
You've got
one tail crashed into a building or something.
Right.
One tail was just hit by Stockbridge.
Stockbridge. You just took out one.
Chicken guy crashed into you and you deflected, and the
Right.
other chicken guy is dead. So
That's all we've got left is the one that I just sandwiched between me and the street.
right.
The one that's above me. And he was going the other direction. So I'm just
gunning it.
gunning it. Obviously not playing chicken with Bennett, but I want to get Bennett between me and my tail so that I've got that tail has Stockbridge and Bennett and Quaid to deal with. So I'm going to try to hit the gas, not hit my friends, and
Bennett, well, you can see probably better than anybody else because you're actually not involved in like some ridiculous daring do. Is that the one that scraped underneath Rozic is doing like this frantic U-turn, but the one that had been hit by a piece of debris, it's back.
Oh, okay.
And it just lets go and opens fire on Rozic's spinner. Almost so you can hear this, machine guns. You can see the flash of the machine guns going up. And let's just take a look at these heavy guns.
They get a 2D force.
Those guys are really going to be in trouble now when the law gets involved for having an armed civilian vehicle.
they probably have some sort of license though.
It's okay. They're firing on a police officer, right? So
But the problem is they're firing while Wallace.
well, yeah. The court can figure that out after we shoot him down.
I would love to be alive to testify in that trial.
Right.
So let's
let's focus. Let's focus on that. Yeah.
All right. Just looking for these heavy guns. Because I didn't expect to actually have a vehicle combat, but
Always expect.
always expect a vehicle combat.
Yes.
Or at least the unexpected.
If anybody else finds the heavy guns before me, you let me know. Because just said
They're
heavy
50
guns.
caliber machine guns. So
50 caliber machine gun.
Damage for that.
Got a page number for that?
Let's see.
Probably
Vehicle weapons. Autocannon, D10.
Yeah, okay.
Capable of full auto.
Yay. All right. Okay. Roll the vehicle's armor there, Mr. Rozic.
2D8s, right?
The
Yep.
autocannon has a damage of 3.
Okay, 1 success.
Okay. Vehicle's
7.
taking three hull damage.
So I've got 1 hull left.
There's like little like things are sparking and whatnot, and a couple wires have fallen down. It's just probably okay, but just
How much did the damage exceed the defense?
it was 3.
So there's a crit roll of a D10, right?
There's a crit roll. That's a 10 or a 12.
D10.
D10. Okay, it's a 10.
That's bad.
Massive crash. The vehicle careens out of control and crashes violently. It is automatically wrecked, and each passenger suffers D6 points of falling damage, +1 for each zone of altitude, mitigated by vehicle armor and a mobility roll by the player, which does not constitute an action. So,
Hey, look at it this way. If he said D12, I would roll on D12. This one's one of the things that's not on the DM screen or GM screen I recall, and that was just Fireball. So hey, massive crash, not so bad. So,
And to be clear, remember I went down.
right.
I went under, so I'm close to the street.
we're close to ground. I'm gonna be merciful, and it's only 1 point of falling damage,
All right, and I
Well,
get
so-
a move roll.
mitigated
can-
by the vehicle's
yeah.
armor
Yeah.
and mobility.
All right, so let me do the armor first. I got 1 success on the armor.
That's
Okay.
You're good.
it's good enough.
Yeah, it's good enough. So just careening out of control, just scraping us across the street. You're taking out a bunch of stalls,
Guys, I'm going to park here.
and people are just like running out of the way, and it's just sheer luck that you didn't flip end over end. And Sam is screaming. He's like back, like down on top of Troy practically. And the vehicle smoke. The vehicle just shot and just like whips over top, and you can see us banking around.
I'm not worried about Sam. I'm going to try to get Troy out of the car. Kicking open my door.
And so you've got that vehicle whipping around. The other vehicle is taking a U-turn, like flies over else. I mean, these things are just like going way, way above the speed limit in town.
Not mine.
Not yours. Not yours. No, yours isn't. Let's go back to the Stockbridge for a second. As you're now trying to push this vehicle all the way down to the ground, what are we doing at this point?
If I feel like this spinner is breaking up, then I'm going to have to get out.
Right.
It doesn't
You feel
really
like it's causing a lot of damage to yours, and maybe not as much to theirs.
right. What a great time to have an empty weapon.
There's no ammo in this game.
There is. You have 4 shots of 44s,
Ah,
1 shot of 222, and then you've got basically unlimited sonic. I'm not blasting my way into a spinner with the sonic weapon, so with the blasters. So, yeah. Oh well. I'm going to double down on this maneuver. Right. I've crashed into the hood. It's digging in its front into the underbelly of mine. So I am going to do an emergency, acceleration and just flip over to try and impact the front of my spinner on the rear of their spinner and put us into a wild spin.
Yes. Okay.
Which of course gives me advantage, right?
Yeah.
Jose agrees.
Yes.
So considering you're on top of them, take advantage. Why not?
Advantage.
All right. Woo!
You have the high ground.
Yeah, get the high ground.
All right. It's not going much better. I have one success, I have one unicorn, and I have a 2. So I can't push the unicorn. I will push the other. 2 successes.
Whoa, okay. This works.
Take stress from the unicorn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This works. You're able to kind of push it over and get yourself both kind of into a bit of a spin. You're doing this so successfully that you're able to actually get him out of control while maintaining some control of your own vehicle. And the two of you kind of separate. Does he crash as a result of this? No. He manages to pull himself out of that, but it's, you've totally, gotten him off his game. He's just zipping around, just avoiding various obstacles and buildings, trying to get his vehicle back to normal. Bennett, once again, you and Quaid actually have a brilliant view at this point of the 2 vehicles that were in pursuit of Rosic, including the one that shot him down, leaving the scene.
Fleeing the scene. Excellent.
Leaving the scene, right in the direction of they're heading back to Wallace based on the direction they're going. The vehicle that Stockbridge just almost destroyed, same thing. It all of a sudden completely breaks off.
I've radioed that I'm okay.
Okay. I think I just take down the spinner close on Rosek to provide backup if somebody else should appear. So I go down to street level, right? And I radio Stockbridge, to make sure that he's okay. So
I'm okay.
okay, so
like spinner. The bottom of the spinner looks like hell, but other than that, he's okay.
Okay, well, he's okay. Okay, so he doesn't need backup right now. So
and you're landing near Rosic.
Yes,
which means you're also landing near this crowd of people now. Many of whom were shopping at these stalls. Some of them who own these stalls. There's this crash spinner has taken out about 8 stalls. Doesn't look like there's any pedestrian injuries, but it looks like there's a lot of property damage. People ran. Yeah.
Okay, so I blast out the speakers. Clear the zone. And I
gleefully hit the siren.
Right.
Woo!
Some people are clearing the zone. Some people are making some hand gestures.
Yeah. So my intention is to land the spinner, and call dispatch to send ambulances to take care of the wounded, right? Because he just crashed into a.
And hopefully we can get a Rosek and
right. Call
in the back of the black and white.
Yeah, call backup and call some ambulances to secure the site.
Ambulances, honey, is everybody okay? Dispatch asks.
Oh, okay. It seems all police officers involved are okay. There's been a crash into a crowded area. I don't know if there are any wounded civilians. We need to establish a perimeter and treat wounded.
They're on their way. Do you need any more plainclothes down there to keep things under control?
Yes.
All right. I heard you got a confession or a statement, rather.
That is correct. And I by this time I hope we've landed, and so Dutch is probably out.
I can't believe it was her fault. Can you believe that?
Well, that's what we got, and so I transmit the recorded testimony by the by
Troy?
the replicant. Yeah. So that sits on record at the system.
Boy, I wish I could go out there with you sometime. Your line of work sounds real exciting, Sugar. Tell me all about it when you get back.
Will do.
Thumbs up. What's it? How you doing?
Good. Just trying to get everybody safe. So out of the car. I want to get Troy out of the car before anything blows up, and I'm yelling at Sam.
Yeah, and takes a bit to get Sam moving. It's hard to figure out who is more traumatized by the events of the last 2 hours, whether it's Troy or Sam. That Sam is helping you get Troy out of that vehicle. And things are just otherwise pretty calm. Plainclothes officers from the other scene are reporting that other Wallace Corporation vehicles came there and then left abruptly.
Well, we got his testimony on record. Put the replicant on our spinner, which is intact, in case we get any more company. And I guess we wait for backup and then go to the station.
Yeah. Quay, did you happen to get any license plates?
I think I hit the license plate with my second shot.
But yes, you're able to get him to the station with no problem. Your backup is able to show up. The cameras on the spinners will be able to take some identifying marks of the vehicles. Perfect. Most of which turn out to be completely unmarked. At the station itself, what's the big plan? Meaning, like, what are you planning to do with Troy, and then what are you planning to do with the chief? It's probably a good time to make your report.
So, what? And this is me not knowing the world perfectly, and I apologize, but like, what's Troy's fate in this scenario? What do I know? I mean, his owner's gone. The guy who made him, hopefully, is going to jail. What happens to Troy in this scenario? Do we know? Do I have a sense of what?
Well, I think we understood he reverted back to Wallace property once his owner is dead. I don't know how that works, but is that correct, Ivan?
That's what you've been told.
Which makes no sense, but hey, yeah. Right. I guess he's technically Muniz's property because he bought him, right? But if they're property, they're probably subject to inheritance law, right? So I guess he reverts back to his dad because she doesn't have any children. But I'm not a lawyer, so it doesn't really matter to me. What we need is the testimony, right?
Are they property?
It's a good question.
And the reason I ask is that, I mean, I'm not going to break any laws or do anything too shady, but it's a little important to me that Troy is not decommissioned for all of this. And maybe I'm leveraging, like, we're going to need him for the trial. He's going to have to testify.
He's evidence at the moment.
Right. So he's safe until the trial, I guess.
That's what I'm pushing for. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the politicians,
right,
especially the ones in the administration level of the police, are more beholden to Wallace than they are to law or anything else, right? So
it's Chinatown, Jake.
True. So you're being summoned to Holden's office to give a counting of your activities. Troy, you're being told, can be dropped off temporarily to the rep detect unit in a much safer holding area. Not exactly a cell, but a witness.
Yep.
A witness area where he can stay.
Well, I'm
What do you-
comfortable being called up on the carpet. It happens to me all the time. But I don't know about Troy in the holding area.
How's that?
Well, I mean, even in a cell with cameras, he was
Well, that does.
he was beaten. So, um, you know, without some kind of guard, I don't know how safe he actually is.
Well, nobody's going to make you drop him off there at gunpoint. Question is, do you bring him into the meeting with Holden?
No.
Okay, what are you doing?
I'm gonna stick him in my office while we're talking to Holden.
Office? Whoa, this is a rep detective. You don't have an office, you have a shared desk.
No, 14 years on the force. Keep me in office.
You have a nice shared desk.
Is there anybody I trust? Keep an eye on him while I get my ass chewed out.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Right, with your contacts.
You got plenty of contacts. You can call just about anybody you want, you know.
Yeah.
Watch this guy for a little bit.
Yep.
And you certainly know guys they're more rep sympathetic than others.
Yep.
So entering into Wallace's office, Holmes' office rather.
That's an interesting slip.
I know, isn't it? Isn't it? Entering into Holden's office. The first thing you notice outside the fact that Holden's got 2 cigarettes going in is Holden's not the only one in there. There's Holden. There's a couple of big burly cops. Rep attacks. I mean, these are Blade Runners, but they're kind of like the big beefy enforcer type Blade Runners. The guys that will do like a lot of the intimidation on the force, that sort of thing. There's also a woman who at least a couple of you would recognize as Quell. Stockbridge and Ruzick would recognize the woman they spoke with not so long ago.
At Wallace.
The Wallace Corporation.
She was so kind to us.
Right. There's also a man seated with his back to you. But oddly enough, surrounding him are 4 little floating globes, about fist size. It's kind of floating in the air. And Holden looks up to you. Sit down. Today.
I'll go in first. Sit down. Draw his attention.
So you got a testimony out of this, Troy.
That is correct.
And he fingers the father.
That is correct.
He doesn't finger the father. He saw the father.
He sees the father at the crime scene. You're right. So you've got a testimony. You've got a witness.
That is
How
correct.
did you manage to? And the woman turns over. So how did you manage to break through his programming and behavioral modifications, detective?
I think of more importance, isn't it, that the Wallace Corporation is cleared of all culpability in this situation?
This is indeed fortunate.
certainly be a lot less property damage now that that question's been cleared up.
This could be a lot worse for you guys. You're welcome.
And the globes, two of the globes, just like start floating towards Razik. And the man sort of tilts his head towards you. You can see the white, milky eyes seem to gaze in your direction, but clearly they're not. You can see little implants on his temples blinking red. As the big visual signals from the drones kind of give him God knows what kind of picture of you. Detective, we are truly grateful for your ability to not only keep our property safe, but to come to the truth of this matter, to get a testimony, and to prove once again that the Nexus 9 models are completely safe.
Sure looks that way.
I understand there has.
Beautiful thing is, once the trial's over, you get your property back, I believe.
That is the case. We can always provide a good home for him until the trial.
I look
But
at
that's
Holden.
to be discussed with at another time. It's regrettable that there has been property damage, and I understand there have been injuries. And I am certain that we can take care of any expenses, either for medical expenses or to recompense the families of any of the officers that have become injured in the line of duty.
We know how it works.
Do you, detective? Do you see the bigger picture?
You're going to tell me no, and that's fine.
Look out in the city. We have an excellent vantage point here, nearly the top of your building. Look at all those buildings, all those people, millions of people dependent on Nexus 9 replicants for their seawall, for their manufacturing, for the hope of humanity. You can't take that away from.
We're getting the plaque made for you. You're good.
Tell yourself whatever you need to sleep at night, Mr. Wallace.
You sleep exceptionally well, detective. I am the savior of humanity.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
Well, I have to agree with him on one thing. New models definitely are safe and harmless.
New models what?
Are definitely safe and harmless.
Yeah.
And a good shot.
Are you all harmless, detective?
I certainly am.
I've heard otherwise. I'm very proud of you, son. Nexus 9 replicants serving alongside humans as Blade Runners, protecting the interests of the citizens and keeping the integrity of the Nexus 9 replicants in the forefront. You truly are a miracle.
Making sure Stockbridge isn't reaching for his gun.
I'm gripping myself.
I've learned what can happen.
So, Olin looks to you. So, A replicant witness will be held here until trial. We'll make sure that he has guards, that he is safe, he is comfortable, that as much as possible, he's psychologically and physically taken care of. And after the trial, he's to be immediately returned to Wallace Corporation for care and study. You've all done a good job.
Don't get you to say that very often, boss.
Don't get used to it. Well done, boys.
So I stand up and I look at them and I say, well, if that'll be all, we got work to do.
Of course, Detective. Wallace looks over back in your direction. I look forward to talking with you again.
Let's hope it's on amicable terms.
For detectives, it's always amicable.
Always.
Always, Detective Rosen. There's simply nuances. And
I would love to be out of the room before he finishes this sentence.
I pull a cigarette right and light it up as I walk out the the office.
So we're all leaving.
I guess.
I am.
All right. As we leave, I kind of tell Rosa, hey, what the hell was that turtle doing in the desert anyway?
It's a tortoise, Wade, not a turtle.
Nice.
anybody else want to do anything before we bring this to a close?
I'm gonna go to Meg's bar and have a few.
Now, an arrest warrant served for Victoria's father, Cornelius Muniz. Mr. Cornelius. I'm looking at my notes. Cornelius Muniz, on the other hand, after the arrest warrant is served, his personal ship all of a sudden departs Earth. About a week later, reports come in that it has been destroyed.
Oops.
The official story is catastrophic engine failure. No survivors. Witnesses to this accident come from one of the colonies around Titan. It is a Wallace-owned outpost.
Nice.
Good old Wallace justice.
Justice is served.
How would you
Say again, what did you say right there?
Wallace justice? I didn't say that.
Ah. Nice.
That was good.
Yep.
I really enjoyed the car chase.
And I really, yeah, that was really cool.
That was cool.
And I'm looking at, I just hadn't really, life got too busy. So I'm looking and I'm like, man, there's obstacles and there's a whole bunch of chase rules I didn't actually use, but it was kind of a weird chase because it was more of a dogfight. So I was like, okay, I could maybe start to use obstacles, but
All right, wait, I want to make sure I understand things. Are you saying that we didn't use the chase rules in an RPG? Because that's never happened before.
Yeah, we did sort of. But I didn't use enough of them. There are definitely maneuvers you can use during chases and what have you.
I'm proud of us for using the grappling rules.
To be honest with you, like with your driving skill, if we had just used standard chase, just statistically, you would have like crashed into a freaking wall.
The story ended the same.
Because these guys were very good at driving.
Yeah.
And had very good vehicles. And you rolled exceptionally well, and a couple times they rolled exceptionally poorly.
I cannot think of another game where you're actually rolling with the car like that. I really like that. Like mechanically, that makes a ton of sense to me.
Well, I think the Star Wars Fantasy Flight FFG rules do use the maneuverability of the vehicle.
Yeah.
It's it's
cool.
Now, we at the end of the case we have the humanity awards, and we've got promotion points, and that's an interesting puzzle for Ivan to solve based on the things that we actually did.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that for a moment before I get back to you with the final tally.
I think I got a good way to end my report thing. So I'll get on that when we're done with the session.
And actually though, that's the one thing I forgot to say though, like is after that the destruction of the vehicle or destruction of the Wallace the Muniz craft probably gets returned. Wallace.
There's nothing we can do about that.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
sucks.
Chinatown, Jake.
Yeah.
I'm sure if he'd be present for that. Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
All right. Well, gents, I have to eject.
Oh, okay.
Ejecting. All right. Well, then we're gonna have to do this Quantum Black soon.
Yeah, I'll finish my character up. And
put a lot of care into the creation of these characters, man, because they're gonna be very important.
Yeah. I might, and to give you a sense of how much time I'm going to spend, it's going to be close to half of what, you guys spent. Actually, I'm excited about this. I'm excited about playing Ubiquity again.
You have no idea.
It's awesome. Ubiquity is just awesome. I mean,
Yeah,
no, it is. It's awesome.
I'm excited. That was awesome, Ivan. Thank you for doing that.
it was great, and Dutch can't complain. He, they got the bad guy, and he got a stripper's phone number. I mean, that's all in the day's work.
Hey.
The winner in Chinatown is quick.
And you get the unexpected headshot. What?
Yeah.
That was amazing.
That was pretty badass.
It was so funny because I rolled that 4, and I was looking at 4. I probably dinged the rear view mirror. It's a crit because there's no reason, honestly, for them to have put that if you hit the passenger, you automatically get a crit.
In the middle of the thing, right? It's like
it's in the table. You hit a passenger, it takes damage, and you get a crit. Okay, so roll the crit, and because I was using the Magnum, bam.
That was badass. All right, so we'll hit schedules and we'll figure out Ubiquity.
Yeah. Cool.
Quantum Black coming soon.